What's up, everybody? SFL Heron TV here with the boys. How you guys doing?
Good.
Good, man. Good.
Now we're here to talk about the both games. Well, actually, the game we just played against Nashville, and the game we're about to play tomorrow. It's going to come out on Tuesday tomorrow against Atlanta. Just a heads up. What do you guys think about that game against Nashville?
Very. The problem being is we saw how we played against Orlando, right? And I felt like, all right, we got something going. And then you see we play Nashville, and it's like we're back to
Disappointment.
First two games of the season, the little tournament.
Yeah.
Playing like I mean, Carranza, Pellegrini were basically not on the field.
I mean, yeah. So far, it looks like a typical performance by Inter, to be honest.
It looked the game against Orlando looked like the outcast out of all the games, right?
Yeah, it looked like. Well, I mean, maybe there's more hype. It was a derby. I'm sure before the game, the boys were all like, "We got to go out, get this dub. We got to get the 3 points." They were a little nervous when they started scoring goals and almost drew, but I don't know. Nashville, I was not surprised.
You saw the team pressuring up front in the beginning of the game, and we did look like the better team in the beginning. But I mean, just mistakes, and when it comes like attacking wise, you have like Pellegrini. He's a DP, and he hasn't been doing anything, man. And if you want to count all the attacking players, if you want to count the forward, which is Carranza or whoever's at that time, Carranza, Robinson, Agudelo, those are the three that have played. And then you have Morgan, Pizarro, and Pellegrini. Out of all of those, the one that has had the lowest performance, I mean Pellegrini, in my opinion.
And he's a DP, and that says a lot.
He's a young DP.
Yeah.
That says a lot.
I think up to now, he hasn't shown any reason to, other than his price, why he's starting. Like,
well, I mean, that's a good argument, but at the same time, what would it look like for a club if they spend so much money and within 7 games in, they start benching him? I think at this point, it's kind of
all these games. It's time.
It's time. For sure.
You have a 30-year-old Shea, who, let me tell you, he couldn't complete a good cross.
Oh no!
When he went in. However, if you take away the crossing, he looked way more dangerous than Pellegrini.
Yeah.
He was lanky, he was slow, but he actually created the space to get across.
Mm-hmm.
Pellegrini, I mean, I think he had the shot that could have been like a penalty, but then again, he didn't do anything in the game.
Yeah.
I mean,
neither did Carranza.
Yeah, a couple bad calls for sure. The PK that we didn't get with Pellegrini's shot. I mean, according to the rules, it doesn't matter if he's trying to use his hand or not. Like, it's a PK. If it blocks, it's a PK.
Mm-hmm.
And then second half, you saw when Robinson came in and he got fucking hugged.
He got
to the
tackled.
ground.
Yeah. And it didn't even get reviewed.
I mean, to be fair, there was 3 goals and 2 goals got reviewed. So, I mean, it was bad calling, but at the same time, how many times are they going to review everything?
There were fouls in the goals. The first goal that got reviewed, you can clearly see the forward just fully extend his arms and shove him.
Yeah.
And the other one, I think Carranza went to ground way too easily, where he should have just got the ball and cleared it.
But nowadays, don't you see that happening a lot? Like, if you're trying to clear it, any little touch, they just fall just to get that foul so you can come out. But, I mean, this is what happens when you don't get that call. If you don't get that call, and then across, you have Reyes clearing it to the middle. That's kindergarten. Yeah. That's the first thing that they tell you. Never clear it to the middle. Clear right to the middle. The area stacked, and Rodgers didn't have time to react because, I mean, he couldn't really see the ball.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. And to be honest, after, 7 games, right?
Yeah, 7.
I mean, there comes a point that it's clear that we're struggling. And we've had a long time for preseason. We've had a long break during the coronavirus. I think it's not so much the players as much. Maybe we should also start questioning the coach. And I know it sounds really soon and early to be putting blame. And I don't want to do that. I know we're a new franchise, we're a new team, new league. You can't really be expecting that much for a first season. But at the same time, it's Inter Miami. We also enter a league with people holding a lot of expectations. And not just people in Miami, people across the United States expected Miami to be a lot better than what we are. So I think also maybe Alonso's tactics aren't really adding up to what
I think it's an
need.
issue of not just his tactics, but it shows the problem of signing basically an entire team and then signing a coach after.
That's very true.
You know, because then if you're starting from scratch, you need all 11 players, all 30 players that actually get signed for a team to be able to link up together, right? And if he's trying to play a certain tactic, him being appointed earlier, he would have been able to pick players based on his tactics.
Yeah.
Instead of, you know, because they're trying to play long ball. They're trying to play 3 at the back. They're trying but we don't have the wingers for that. Morgan has been great compared to the entire team. But
Morgan has that attacking mentality that every time he gets the ball, he wants to go forward.
He wants to go up.
Yeah, but you see how he's basically alone on that entire side of the field.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen it with other games, like attacking wise, we lack a lot. You see like 1 or 2 guys attacking, and there's like a full line of 4, and then the other midfielders are going after the ball. So every person that attacks usually seems to be alone. But that's why I go back to maybe it's also like a tactics thing. But you do have a very strong point, because if a coach is given players to work with and not players that he chooses, that also changes things, and I'm sure it works against him.
Yeah,
I mean,
and
especially go ahead.
Seeing the lineup, at least what Google is showing, because I don't remember exactly how he lined up. It shows Pizarro on the left wing. So 4-2-3-1. Pizarro on the left, Morgan on the right, Pellegrini center, and then Carranza up front.
From what I remember in the game, it was been them
Pizarro
switching
to
a
the middle,
lot,
right?
Yeah, he's always pulling to the middle, and Pellegrini he wasn't. That's the thing. Pizarro was coming in the middle, and Pellegrini wasn't pulling to the side, so there wasn't really that many attacks from the left side. Everything relied, like I said, on Pizarro or Morgan, or at the end of the day, what's missing for Pizarro, because we're relying too much on Pizarro. If Pizarro doesn't have a good game,
then we don't.
Inter Miami doesn't have a good game.
Yeah.
So what I think, I mean, you just have to give Pizarro somebody that he could touch with, somebody that has that, let's say, that kind of style of play that he has. For example, or even Shea, he didn't do a great job crossing, like we said. But at the end of the day, you did see him creating chances, crossing, something Pellegrini couldn't even do. Crossing, looking for space, creating that space. At one point, he even acted as a defender, but he was there. He was acting as a defender I forgot who headed the ball, and then he cleared it by mistake, tried to stop it, and it didn't go in. But I mean, he didn't play bad. At least you could see, he was noticed. If you watch the game, you're like, oh, Shea is playing on the left, and the ball's gonna go to Shea, and he's gonna at least get across. With Pellegrini, you're like, oh, it's a lost cause. At least so far, that's the impression that has come every time he has the ball.
Yeah, and being a DP signing, that's alarming.
Exactly. You're taking the DP spot. I mean, hopefully now in the middle, when Matuidi comes in, there's that bit more of aggressiveness when it comes to going forward. Because you have Trapp and Yo's not bad. He hasn't been doing a bad job. But, we still need a little more. Pizarro can't come back to ask the ball.
Yeah, that's true. And another thing I've noticed is we're relying a lot on set crosses rather than straight through play. And like you said, if we rely so much on Pizarro and he's not really being able to produce and create chances in the middle, we're relying way too much on crosses, and those crosses aren't resulting in anything. It's like we have a forward who's 6'3", like a Zlatan or something, who can head a ball in. It's honestly, sometimes watching the games gives you a headache.
Yeah, it's very alarming. I mean, until this day, I do think Robinson is better than Carranza. Even though he scored the 2 goals,
yes,
I feel like Robinson is more, I don't know, just the style of play fits more to the team. Carranza scored 2 goals, but yesterday you couldn't see anything from him.
Yeah,
I think it's Robinson plays like he's trying to earn himself a spot on the team. Carranza plays like
he knows.
He's a DP.
He knows that he's not going to be benched. Spot.
Yeah. Because I don't see any hustle from him. I don't see him chasing balls down. I see him making dumb fouls, just like Pellegrini. Yesterday, I mean not yesterday. They just kept fouling people. Yeah, Sunday they just kept making dumb fouls that were unnecessary, and then the penalty that got called on Pellegrini, I don't think it was a PK, but he was fouling him from outside the box. He was pulling the shirt. He was obviously the ref
and it looked like he went to He looks like he went to go foul him anyways, and top it right at the edge of the box. Like, you can't be doing that.
Like, it was still a foul. I mean, even though it wasn't a penalty, it was still a foul close to the area, a stupid foul. Like, you can't. That's a dangerous foul. That anything could happen there.
And you're right on the edge of the box. Like, don't be going out of your way to look for something. Like, if anything, play it safe. But
yeah, and the speed. I don't know honestly how fast Carranza can sprint, but from preseason, the first couple games of this season, Robinson chasing balls, like wherever they send a ball, he was chasing them.
Yeah,
he was trying to win it, putting the body in front of the defender. Should have gotten a PK. I think
I'm still baffled how that wasn't a PK, because he received the ball, he turned, and then you actually see on the replay, if you actually see the commentary, Hudson was like, and that wasn't even reviewed. He turned, and then the defender hugged him, and then he just dropped, and then Robinson dropped, and then I was like, all right, let's wait for the ball to go out. There's VAR, and nothing. I was like, yo, what's going on here? And like,
that just shows the home advantage. The ref was heavily,
that's true.
Nashville.
That's definitely a factor, for sure.
Mm-hmm. I mean, in every game, there's always going to be a home advantage.
Yeah.
Most refs are very influenced by who's home.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, hopefully we can turn this around. I mean, we've been saying this forever. We thought we kind of solved some problems against Orlando, but those problems came back.
We thought next game week.
And something Sebastian mentioned before we even started, the stats of the game.
Misleading.
It shows Miami 19 shots to 5 on target to 2. But one thing was, I saw who was it? Figal taking shots, like just running up and trying to take a shot that it wasn't even close. Like the center back stopped it with his foot, and things like that. Like shots, a lot of shots that had no business being taken. Like, we're shooting at the wrong time and holding the ball at the wrong time also.
But I would also think that would also come out as a clear sign of desperation and things not working out. And
exactly,
because
at least you end the play.
Yeah,
you're not
and Pellegrini doing fouls, like that also shows like a very weak mind, like in the game. And I don't know, maybe like that's not being transmitted through the coach or the coaching staff. And I mean, it's very clear. It's 7 games in, and I'm not gonna put blame on anybody, but we have a long way to go. But after 7 games, I'm not gonna lie, I expected a little bit better than this.
Yeah, one thing we saw. You saw at one point, who was it? It was Peters, who from the back, he was grabbing the ball and running it up the field through the center to try to find somebody. Something that we have 3 midfielders in the middle, the 2 CDMs and I guess he's a center forward cam type. Something that they weren't able to link up and do, like carry the ball up. We're playing the sides, and our team isn't the tallest team. Like, we got some pretty short people in the middle. Like,
yeah. I mean, I kind of did like that. I did like that from Peters though, because at one point, just the fact that he's a defender and he's going up and he's looking to skip that line of CDMs are always marked, because that's the first pass. Always from a center back, your first pass is going to be to your CDM so you can distribute. If you jump that line, you're already at right outside the box. However, that pass was coming in good, and then the movement from the top 3, I'm not counting even Carranza, like Pizarro, Morgan, and Pellegrini wasn't the right movement, especially from Pellegrini. Like I said, I don't know where he was playing. I saw Pizarro shifting in the middle, like always. He does. I mean, he's a creative player. They always tend to look for the ball, and the ball was mostly in the middle.
Yeah.
But Pellegrini was lost. So
yeah.
I mean, like I said, hopefully, I think it's time to bench him, because you can't have a kid that's 19 feel so comfortable with the position, even though he's getting paid more than the others. But he can't feel comfortable in that position, knowing that a 30-year-old came in and, in my opinion, was better.
Yeah.
You can even throw Gwen there, and then Gwen can link up with Pizarro, since they have the similar play style.
Mm-hmm. I mean, regardless, it's definitely time to bench. Doesn't matter how much you make. I mean, what the team comes first, and it'd be better to have someone who's like on 10K or like a month, and who puts more heart and will into the game. I mean, that's any day. Like, hard work is a lot better than talent, and it's very evident that, I mean, I don't know, that if the talent's there, he needs to find it soon.
Now,
exactly.
With us talking about benching Pellegrini, how do you guys see us going into Wednesday's game against Atlanta?
Tough. I mean, Atlanta's Atlanta. They've been very good. I know currently they're sitting 8th, but I don't know.
I did see. I talked to one of an Atlanta Instagram page because remember we went to the game and it was canceled, the one from last week. So I talked to him and he was telling me how they were 3-3, and to them that's bad.
Of course.
So imagine us.
We're 3-4 now.
Oh, 3-4, and then we're 1-6. So.
I'll take 3 and 4.
Yeah,
I mean,
at the end of the day, you had a game where PT Martinez went off against Nashville, if I'm not mistaken. So at least, you had some time for him to calm down because he was on that game. He scored 2 bangers, and now hopefully, he's the most creative player in their team right now. Yeah. He's the DP. He's the one that makes everything. So Alonso should take that in consideration. I'm pretty sure he is. I'm not a coach, and I know that. So. But they could do a good job covering him, and then give Robinson a chance, man. Even if Carranza wants to start, play with 2 forwards, change something. So we have to find that winning mentality needs to be inserted into the players' minds. Mm-hmm. We're playing home. At least let's say we lose, which is a possibility. you are playing Atlanta United, but you have to show heart. You're playing for a team. You're playing for a brand new team. Let's make some history. Let's have an identity at one point. Yeah,
you have nothing to lose. Like, you might as well just go out for a win. But you have to fight for it, man. You have to put will. I don't know. I'm not gonna. Who'd you guys
put in against Pellegrini? Because I know we all want Pellegrini out, at least for this game.
I'd honestly try Carranza on the left and put Robinson up top.
Carranza on the left, like as a winger.
Yeah, because I don't think, from what it looks like, it doesn't look like we're playing wide. We're trying to play more like in the center, but I think trying Carranza out on the left, or maybe even just taking out Carranza and Pellegrini and starting Shea and Robinson. Yeah,
Shea was pretty surprising, man. I really like how he played. Even he couldn't complete a cross. But
one thing being, Morgan and Pizarro, when they start linking up, because that's gonna be deadly for us. But we need that striker to be ready to receive a ball and finish it. Because Lewis Morgan was taking it down the line, beating everybody, turning when he had to, looking back. Who was playing on his side? It was Figal, right? Mm-hmm. Who was like trying to keep up. Like, he was doing pretty well. Just, the passing errors, that's something we got to work on.
At the end of the day, we did fix something. I think we look at the bright side. We're not getting scored on a lot. And that's the fact that we got Pires, a very experienced MLS player in the back, which has done his job. In Orlando, it was his first game. He looked kind of shaky because I think his name is Dyke, turned at him like 3 times, like out-bodied him like he was butter. But this last game, he looked more solid. And then that right side, Figal brought a more defensive mind right back. But he's still not a right back. Like, he doesn't go up, he doesn't overlap, he doesn't give you that attacking opportunity. And Sweat, he got better, but he's still he's still owing us some things.
At the same time, like I said before, to be fair, it's 7 games in. It's the first time this team has played official games together. To be honest, maybe we're just wasting our breath, and the rest of the season is going to be a farce, and maybe we can have a lot better run next season. But all that we can really hope is that they keep bettering, because every game so far, until the Orlando game, you saw an improvement. But then the game after, you're like, all right, we got this. And it's just going downhill. And you're like, all right, what happened?
Do you think it was the postponement of the Atlanta game that kind of iced them down?
It could be. You could actually have to take that in consideration after you come from a win in a derby. But, there was a cost. Like, we're not going to get into politics. So we're,
But honestly, it is a good point to bring up, but it can go either way, because at the same time, it's the same debate as, can professional teams play every 3-4 games? And you say,
no, but also you have Nashville that played.
Yeah, that's true.
They played Orlando, and they actually played.
And they played. Exactly.
Mm-hmm. But so that could be a factor.
Yeah, but at the same time, the way we see it, they got paid and they had extra time off and for training. and they go to
Yeah.
the next game and they're going to lose momentum, I mean, it's a good excuse.
And at the end of the day,
But at the end
teams
of the
are
day,
supposed to
it's
play
an excuse.
once a week, like on the
Exactly.
weekend, and then you take the other weekend. That's because, I mean, player goes through a recovery time. So
Mhm.
you want to take that in consideration. We had the upper hand in like recovery time and everything.
And it didn't even help us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If that was the case, I
mean,
would have rather played more games than anything.
Yeah, I mean, let's start wrapping it up here, just with a little predictions. What do you guys think is going to be the score for tomorrow's game?
I'm hopeful for a win, but
I'd say,
if we get a draw,
you know,
I'd be
I'd say
content.
I'd say 2-1 us. And the only reason I don't say like a 1-0 is because our defense is shaky at this point still.
Yeah,
So I don't see our defense holding a clean sheet. You know, we've given up leads already to pretty much every team. You know, so yeah, I'd say 2-1 if our forwards actually show up to the game.
I say
You
a
say
draw.
us?
I say a draw. Whether it's
1-1?
0-0, I don't know.
I'm saying it because
It
I
could be
mean
scoreless
they
at the
just
same
they just
time.
lost to Orlando 3-1 like Saturday, so that's why I'm thinking we can take that win.
I think that was their first win, Orlando.
Their first
No,
one.
their first
No, it's-
loss against Orlando. Yeah,
Yeah,
I think if I'm not
3-1 on
mistaken, that it
Saturday.
was.
I mean,
So I mean, hopefully,
we're sitting last.
I would say 2-1
Eastern
too.
Conference. Last.
we're 3 points behind. I mean, we have a game in hand. DC United is at 6 points with 8 games played.
Mhm.
I mean, they drew 3 games in 1-1, so it's better than winning 1 in 7. So
I
Yeah,
don't know.
I mean,
We, 3
hope-
points, and
let's say,
Toronto has 18.
hopefully we get a win, man. I mean,
Hopefully, I'm hopeful. There, you know, at this point, all
we need
can
to start
do is
getting
hope.
points because
But
we want to be in those top 7
Yeah.
spots. You know,
That's why I'm saying if we get a draw, I'm content because we can't be losing points. Like we can't be walking away with matches with no points. As long as we walk,
So
like
when
at
you're
this
home,
point,
you have to be like, your home has to be respected at one point. You know?
Yeah, but that also goes back to some players aren't playing with will and ganas, so
Yeah.
they need to put respect on it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. All right,
But-
guys. So let's wrap this up, man.
All right. So a draw. I say a draw.
say
Diego
2-1.
says
2-1.
2-1.
2-1.
Okay.
2-1.
he
All
can't
right,
be
guys.
original.
Thank you for
As long as
tuning
we
in.
don't drop points.
Thank you for tuning in. Anything,
right.
just leave a comment down below. We'll touch up on the next podcast.
Subscribe.
Or, you know, we'll subscribe, like, ring the bell here, and then put the comment here, and then take care.